Hey YouTube, I'm Jess, and in today's video, we're gonna be doing an entire video based around products that YouTube made me buy. So either they were super hyped up on YouTube or YouTube influencer collabs that I purchased. I'm gonna do all my makeup today with those products. I hope you enjoy. All right guys, so I've already filmed this video once, so hopefully today it will be even better, because I've already done it once. I lost half my footage, which is why we have to refilm. I'm just gonna start off the video by showing you guys some of the brushes that I've bought because of YouTube. First set of brushes that I ever bought was a set of brushes from Sigma. I actually purchased a second set of brushes from Sigma when I was buying brushes for my freelance kit, and I'm using them in my freelance kit now as well. This is a set of brushes right here that I got. It also came with another foundation brush, the Sigma F80 Kabuki, which eventually fell apart on me. I've had these brushes for so many years. This was a collaboration that Sigma did with Jaclyn literally so long ago. It was a collab of Jaclyn's favorite brushes. Most of these brushes I still use on a daily basis, which is awesome. This is another set of brushes that I bought because of YouTube. These are the Real Techniques Duo Fibre brushes. So there's a face brush, an eye brush, and a contour brush, they call them. I bought these because of Katie. At the time, her YouTube channel was Luster Lux. She loved this set of brushes. And again, I use these brushes on a regular basis. I used to use this brush for highlighting every single day, but I've switched to a different highlighting brush. But yeah, some staple brushes in my collection right here. And then this guy right here, this is another brush from Real Techniques. This is the Expert Face Brush. This brush was crazy popular on YouTube for a while. Like, if you weren't putting your foundation on with this brush, then what were you doing? It was so hard to find at the time. I think you could only get it in a set off Amazon. And yeah, I'm pretty sure it's sold individually now and it's a lot easier to find. But when I got this, it was a freaking mission. So those are the brushes I'm gonna be using in today's video. Okay guys, so the first super hyped up makeup product that I'm going to show you today are these guys right here. I hope some of you guys recognize these. These are the NYX Jumbo pencils. I have one in milk and one in black bean, so a white one and a black one. These were all the rage. If you were using a base, a cream product underneath your eyeshadow, you were using one of the NYX Jumbo eye pencils in like 2013. It was a must do. So I'm gonna start with this one. This is in the color Milk. It's a white pencil. And I don't know if these were always so stiff or if it's maybe just because this is like 6 years old or something ridiculous. But it tugs at my eyelids so much, and I definitely would not use this on like a regular daily basis anymore just because it tugs so much. And my eye area is sensitive and I don't want wrinkles. So just try to apply that really gently, and I'm gonna put that all over my lid as a nice base for our eyeshadow to go on top of. The idea of this was to really make your eyeshadows pop by having that white base down. Yeah, I hope some of you guys have been around on YouTube for long enough. If you recognize these, I think these are probably the oldest product that I have here. If you recognize these guys from YouTube back in the day, definitely leave me a comment down below so that I know that I'm not the only one who remembers these things. Next up, we have the Carly Bybel and BH Cosmetics eyeshadow palette. So this is actually the deluxe edition. A bunch of eyeshadows in here and a bunch of different highlighters. These are some of Carly's like favorite shades. Carly is one of the OG beauty YouTubers, one of the first on the scene. Such a sweet girl, so authentic. And this palette was so affordable, so inexpensive. I think it was like 20 something dollars for all of this. I picked mine up from Ulta a few years ago when I was down in the States. Honestly, in here, this highlighter right here, this is my favorite highlighter out of all of my highlighters. It's so pretty. I really love it. You get a really nice variety of tones in here. You got some highlighters for really light skin tones. You've got some for deeper skin tones as well. I've actually been thinking about depotting these and putting them into my makeup kit just to have some more options for deeper skin tones. But yeah, I'm gonna just use some of these eyeshadows on my eyes today. I'm gonna start with this guy right here. You can see I've hit pan on it. It's my most used color from the palette. I'm gonna use this brush from my Sigma set and just dip right in there. I actually don't use this brush for eyeshadow anymore. I use it every day for applying highlighter to my face. We're gonna use it for shadow today, and I'm just gonna use that soft peachy color as a nice little transition shade. These BH eyeshadows are definitely not, you know, the best eyeshadows that I've ever used. They don't have a ton of pigmentation to them, but they do blend nicely, and they would have worked for anybody who was just like a casual everyday makeup wearer. I just think this was such a great collaboration because it was so accessible for so many people because of the price point, because of all the color variation. They did such a great job with it. And I've quite enjoyed owning it over the years, honestly. So now that I have that transition shade down, I'm just gonna take this color right here. It's just a little bit of a darker brown, still quite mid-tone. Same brush, and I'm just going to kind of intensify my crease a little bit with that. Okay, and then I'm gonna switch over to another palette, this guy right here. This is the Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette number 5. So when Natasha Denona first came out, we couldn't get her stuff in Canada, and it was all super hyped up online. So my girlfriend and I were down in New York, and we hit up Sephora to pick up a few products that they had down in the States that we didn't have up in Canada, and this was one of the things that I grabbed. It's so delicate. I don't know if you guys can see, but like the shadows are kind of falling apart a little bit. I have to be so gentle with it. They're just so softly pressed. So what I'm gonna do is just take this nice light white color, and I'm gonna add this to the inner corner of my eye. And the difference in pigmentation between these shadows and the BH shadows is pretty comical. But there's also a huge difference in price point as well, so it's understandable. And then I'm just gonna take this one from the other side here, like a taupey light brown, lots of shimmer in it, and add that right to the center. You guys know, since buying this palette, Natasha Denona has come to Canada, and I actually have one of her bigger palettes, the Metropolis palette, and I love it so much. I'm such a big fan of her eyeshadows, so highly recommend. This is a great palette right here just for like the everyday person, because just nice neutral colors. You've got some lighter tones for every day and like a matte dark brown for using as liner or darkening your outer corner. And then you've got like a really shimmery gold and a shimmery kind of reddy brown color, which would be good for more like evening looks. Just like really versatile for the everyday makeup wear. It's a great palette. And I never really use it that often anymore because I have my bigger Natasha palette. So it's been good using it while I'm filming this video. I have to close it so gently so they don't break. Put it away so gently. Ooh. Okay, so next up, I'm gonna take my little Sigma E25 right here, and I'm gonna take this dark brown shadow right on the very end here from the Bybel palette and just add that to the very outer corner of my eye. So you get quite a bit of pigmentation when you first put this color down, but I've noticed that once you blend, you kind of lose a lot of that. So I'm just gonna be really careful as I blend it out so that I don't kind of blend away too much of the color. Okay, so I'm gonna leave the eyes alone for a minute and move over to foundation. So the foundation that I'm gonna be using today is this guy right here. This is the Cinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation and Concealer. Nicole Guerrero used to rave about this concealer, and it got so much hype on YouTube. It's a really, really beautiful foundation, actually. It's extremely full coverage. When I'm working in Sephora, before Charlotte came out with her super full coverage foundation and people were looking for like full coverage, I would always direct them towards this guy because I feel like it doesn't really get that much hype anymore. Clinique's not that big of a brand online right now, but it was back in the day when I first started watching YouTube, and this guy right here is a really great product. Unfortunately, I don't know if you guys can tell, the color is definitely not right for me. It never really was. The girl at the Clinique counter who matched me to it just didn't do a great color match for me. It's definitely way too pink for me. And not only that, but I'm quite tan right now and it's definitely too pale. So I'm gonna just do some stripes of this guy on my face, and then I'm gonna have to add in a darker foundation as well to help match me. Nicole Guerrero is another one of those OG YouTubers. She doesn't really upload that much anymore, and I don't really watch her videos anymore except for her vlogs. Whenever she posts vlogs, I really like those. I'm just not a huge fan of her other content anymore, but like I love her as a person, you know? These guys were also the first ones to come out with this. I look crazy with this foundation on my face. Let's try that again. These guys were the first ones to actually come out with this giant doe foot applicator. As far as I know anyways, it was the first place I ever saw it, and now so many different brands do that. But yeah, I'm running low on this guy, which is great. I can finally start using it up. And then to blend this all in, I'm gonna go ahead with my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. These days, I more so prefer to use a beauty blender to apply my foundation, but if I do feel like using a brush, this is usually gonna be the one that I go for. And I always recommend it to people who are looking for affordable brush options because it works so well. It's such good quality and a really, really fair price. Real Technique brushes are really great. The only thing about them is like the handles are so thick, so they take up so much space in your brush holder. And then they're also not good for your makeup kit just because of how much space they take up. So not great for a professional or for someone who has a lot of brushes, but still a really, really good quality brush at a great price point for like the everyday person. So I hope you guys can tell like how extremely full coverage that foundation is. It just makes your skin look so flawless, and my earring is falling out. All right, so the next product that YouTube made me buy is this guy right here. This is the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. I have mine in the shade Vanilla. Also not a perfect color match for me, but definitely something that I've been able to make work. I definitely bought this because it was all the rage on YouTube. When it first came out, a lot of people were comparing it to Shape Tape, but saying that it wasn't as cakey or as thick as Shape Tape. And the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer is something else that I bought because of YouTube, and I gave it away after using it for a little while just because it was way too heavy, way too cakey for me. I just wasn't really into it. So when I heard that this one was similar, but just not quite as like dry and cakey, I wanted to give it a try. And I've been super happy with it. I do really love the coverage on it. After I use this one up, I'll probably buy it again in a different color, and I think I'll like it even more. I actually have a full first impression and like long-term review of this on my channel. So if you guys want to check it out, I'll link it out across the top of the video. This brush I'm going to use to blend out my concealer, if you can believe that. This brush came in the Jaclyn Hill kit, and she recommended this guy, saying that she loved blending her concealer out with it. And I remember I did this for a while, but I eventually came to realize that it's just, I don't know, I just don't really like it for this, but I'm gonna do it today anyways, just for the purpose of the video. But I just feel like it doesn't do a good enough job of really like pushing the product into the skin. So it kind of creases a bit more easily under there when I use this brush. It's also not very precise. Like it's hard to get like right up in the corner here without making a mess. These days, I much prefer using a beauty blender for under the eyes. Like 100% of the time, I will always blend out my concealer with a beauty blender. But we're gonna use this guy right here. And you guys, like I said before, I filmed this video last week already once, and I'm actually finding it easier today to blend out my concealer with this brush under my eye than I did the last time. Like last time I had to actually wet my sponge in the video and use it to do kind of the finishing touches, but I'm having a little bit of an easier time with it today. So I think that just goes to show that like it just takes a little bit of practice with things, you know? But still, it's definitely not my favorite way. Like it takes so much longer too. Like I would have been already done this if I was using my beauty blender. I don't even know why I still really have this brush. Just because like I don't really throw things out for no reason. But it's starting to like lose bristles, which happened with the other Sigma foundation brush that I had. I wonder if this would be good for buffing and foundation. I should try it for that. Okay, so I am gonna go ahead and do a couple of steps online with products that I did not buy because of YouTube. I will come back to show you guys the next product. Okay, so next up, the product that YouTube made me buy is this guy right here. Can you guys see? Where can I put these? These are eyelashes. I had these in their nice new packaging the last time I filmed this video, but I pulled them out and wore them and threw that packaging away. Let me see if I can get a close-up. I can't get a close-up for you guys. Anyways, these are Ardell Whispies. You could not watch a YouTube video between 2013 and like 2016 without seeing a pair of Ardell Whispies. These are a really nice, affordable, natural, lightweight lash, really accessible. You can get them at Walmart, you can get them at Rexall. Ardell is a great brand. They do some more dramatic ones, they do some softer ones, but these ones specifically are the Ardell Whispies. It had to be Ardell Whispies. If you were on YouTube and you were wearing lashes, it was the Ardell Whispies. I'm gonna pop these on real quick. Can you guys hear that thunder? I'm sure you can tell it's like super dark in here today. We have a crazy thunderstorm rolling in and it is so freaking dark outside. Okay, and those are the Ardell Whispies, super natural, longer on the outside, shorter on the inside, so they give that nice lift to the eye. They have a clear band, so they're super lightweight. They're really good for your makeup kit because it's like gives enough drama for your clients without making them feel overwhelmed. Lots of clients are not comfortable with like a really dramatic lash, so this is one that kind of gives enough drama without kind of scaring them off. This is a really solid lash, and that's what it looks like. Can you guys see? Hopefully. So the next product that I'm going to show you guys is probably the most hyped YouTube product that I can think of. And yes, I am talking about Champaign Pop. This is a highlighter that was a collaboration between Becca and Jaclyn Hill. Jaclyn Hill, another OG YouTuber. Back in the day, you guys, I'm just gonna use this Real Techniques dual fiber brush. Back in the day, highlighters like this did not exist. Like, this was the most blingin' highlighter out there. It was the most intense, dewy, juicy, metallic, delicious. And it started this crazy, like super intense highlight trend online. And Becca came out with like line after line of Champaign Pop extensions, and Jaclyn did like extra rounds with it. And it was just like this huge product for them. And I would say it really launched Jaclyn's career to like that next level. I remember like when I bought this, I couldn't believe that I was spending like $36 on a highlighter. I've definitely since then spent more than that on a highlighter. You can see my most expensive products video up here. My girlfriends used to come over to my house before we would go out, and everyone would be like, can I borrow your Champaign Pop? Can I borrow your Champaign Pop? Everyone would be like layering up the Champaign Pop every night before we went out. This is just like, this was just it. Like, this was the coolest, sickest, most blingin' highlight there ever was. And yeah, it was just huge. I still love it to this day. Like, look how pretty that is. Also, you can tell that like I'm gonna hit pan soon. You can see the pan in the bottom of there, which is pretty impressive for a highlighter, but I have had this for ages. And actually, while I'm here, why don't I go ahead and just highlight the inner corner of my eye with it as well. Almost forgot that. Yeah, I love this guy, and I would definitely say this was like the biggest YouTuber collab to date so far. If you guys know of any other ones, like the ones that come to mind are like the James Charles palette with Morphe, or what else? I don't know, if you guys can think of any bigger ones, leave them in the comments down below. But like, to me, I think like that thing was a game changer, and it was freaking huge on YouTube. Okay, so I'm just popping on a little bit of bronzer with this brush from the Real Techniques Duo Fiber collection. Here comes the rain. Okay, so I'm gonna just quickly line my lips here so that I can show you my last product. If I could find where I put it, that would be great. All right, guys. I shouldn't have lined my lips before I talked about this. I look ridiculous. But anyways, this is the Ofra Cosmetics and Kathleen Lights collaboration in the shade Miami Fever. Kathleen Lights is another huge old school beauty YouTuber. I used to really be a huge fan of hers, and when this color came out, I was obsessed with orange everything. Orange lips, orange eyes, orange blush. If it was orange, I wanted to put it on my face. And so this beautiful like brick burnt orange color. I actually got one from my friend too at the time. This is the only thing I own from Ofra. I'm not super into their brand. It seems overpriced to me for some reason, but it is a really nice liquid lipstick. It's definitely not drying at all, and the color is just to die for. I think Kathleen actually did another collaboration with them afterwards in like a more like a blood red shade, if I'm not mistaken. But this one was like everything to me. I never really wear it anymore, but I wore it the first time I filmed this video and I got so many compliments from you guys. And we're coming up to fall here now, so I feel like there will be more opportunities to pull it back out again. And that's how that guy right there looks on me. Okay guys, so that is all products that YouTube made me buy. They were either super popping on YouTube or amazing influencer collabs that I just had to pick up. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up so that more people can see it too. If you want to see more videos from me, you can subscribe to my channel and you'll be notified when I upload, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys, thank you.